happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. So we got brand new evidence surfacing of a classmate revealing the true dark intentions behind Karmelo Anthony on that terrible day, guys. And I'm excited to get into it. So we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out. And we got this tweet here on X. This one coming from the so-called Black Tucker Carlson. And this tweet has been getting a lot of controversial opinions. People are weighing in left and right. Been seeing a lot of folks trying to come to the defense behind Karmelo Anthony on this one because of this story. And we're seeing it says when Karmelo Anthony was 14 years old, he took it upon himself to save a white kid drowning in the pool. And we can see here, this is the news article. And the attention that this has been getting has been blowing my mind because I've seen a lot of folks rushing to defend Karmelo Anthony, saying, see, this right here is the reason why. You can tell he didn't mean to do it. He didn't mean anything behind it. Rushing to the defense and defending what he did based off of something he did when he was 14 years old. I don't care if this guy saved a life when he was 14 or if it was 2 weeks before the whole incident happened. It does not justify it whatsoever. I mean, you got to think, and I've got three brothers. Got a younger brother. He's a freshman in high school, 14 years old, and he runs track. So put myself in the shoes of Austin Metcalf's family. Just to hear that kind of story, if this happened to my brother and he was defenseless in the situation, he wasn't provoking it, he wasn't egging this guy on, he just, was there to run track, and then this happens, and now we got folks defending this kid saying, oh, well, he saved a life when he was 14 years old, so he meant no harm by it. Oh my, I would be irate. I would be livid. I'd be blowing my lid. And that's why I just don't get how folks are so quick to rush to the defense of this guy, Karmelo Anthony, just based off this one headline. It makes no sense. And then we've got an update. This from Captive Dreamer on X saying, this is pretty shocking. Memorial High School in Frisco, Texas, the same high school that Austin Metcalf attended, has 3 students, you know what, unalive this year so far. I try to kind of blank out what I'm saying because, it kind of gets weird over here on YouTube. You can't say too much, but I just wanted to check in and show you guys how it's been. It's been a very rough year over at Frisco's Memorial High School. This was the 3rd student that they had passed this year with Austin Metcalf and that terrible incident. It says 17-year-old Kajeri Wan. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering his name, but Mr. Mack and another student, a 15-year-old Gavin Morris, all passed away just months apart. All attended the Memorial High School, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on. It just seems like trouble and disaster is plaguing this school. It sounds like a lot of folks are trying to figure out what is going on here at this school. Why is the behavior so, just, I don't know, out of the norm? It's so much going on at this school. And then I had to show you guys this one. This is Charleston White on Karmelo Anthony, AB. I know this guy kind of says some crazy, both of these guys, some questionable figures, but sometimes they hit the nail on the head. What do they say? Even a broke clock's right twice a day. And that's how I feel about these two guys. I want you guys to check this one out though, and definitely stay tuned because we've got some stuff to cover that kind of shocked me. So check this one out.
Then you made comments on Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony murder.
Yeah.
Why do you think the media is shaping this as self-defense?
The media need to, they have to always use the divide and conquer narrative. Black and white, us against them, police against. So they always have to have something to divide people. This really isn't about black or white, homie. Man, these are kids, and neither one of those kids have the kind of hate that we think racists have in their heart to kill each other. Homie, it's about right or wrong, and no matter what people think, it's never okay to kill anybody, no matter what they're doing to you. There's always other ways to settle conflicts and issues, rather than using violence. our culture think violence is the only thing that solves issues. You can't justify taking a weapon to school when it says there's no weapon supposed to be at school. You can't justify it. No matter what's happening at school, you cannot justify, I brought this weapon to school to save the day or to protect myself. The school have things in place for you to be protected. A resource school officer, a teacher, a principal, a counselor. There's so many other barriers that you can use other than taking matters into your own hands and taking a weapon to school and somebody end up losing their life, another kid. So, yeah, nah, homie, I don't think this kid needs to spend the rest of his life in prison, but he have to go to jail for taking somebody's life. This clearly wasn't self-defense.
And I told you guys, Charleston White, along with Antonio Brown, very questionable figures, but sometimes they're right on the subject. I don't like how the media continues to try to drag race into this whole thing, trying to pit black against white. I don't think that was the case whatsoever. This kid was just, it's wrong versus right. He was about as wrong as, he's wrong as two left shoes. In the situation, no one else, they didn't have intentions on coming to this track meet, having to defend themselves. They didn't bring any weapons. They weren't even ready for an altercation, but this kid took it upon himself to bring a weapon and to provoke folks. And this is one that really hit me. I wanted you guys to see this one being tweeted out from a Tucker Carlson Network fan page, saying a student that knows Karmelo Anthony, the criminal who, Austin Metcalf, says he was known for fighting, and this clip is being removed on liberal social media platforms for exposing his violent tendencies. You see, they don't want you to see this part of the whole story. They want to give you bits and pieces so that they could carefully sculpt and mold their narrative to push it how they would want. They're trying to pit us against our neighbors, saying that we're more different than when we are alike, and we all know that is not the case.
One girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told us this.
I'm in shock because it's like, I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff, like, you know, but to take someone's life is just like a different level.
One girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told.
So, and I wanted to show you guys this, and y'all had to see it because this guy was, I mean, they're trying to paint it as this guy was some innocent kid. He was also a good kid. He wasn't known for this violence. He wasn't known for the way he acted. This was a rare case and a one-off situation where he was struck the wrong way. But now we're getting reports firsthand from people who dealt with him on a daily basis saying, well, I knew him. He was a pretty violent kid. He loved to, get into fights, but I never thought he'd take it this far. Which brings me to this right here. This is Sarah Fields on X tweeting. There are some insane rumors flying around about the Karmelo case and giving us a few facts. And I'm sorry, there's some motorcycle passing by right now. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to read the facts. So we got Karmelo was on the Centennial track team, but did not qualify for the district meet and skipped school to go to the meet. That right there blows my mind. That was one of the first points I read, and I was like, okay, I got to cover this. There is no way. He was not supposed to be there at the meet in the first place. Took it upon himself to not only show up to a track meet that he didn't even qualify for, wasn't even going to race, but also show up causing trouble, stirring up the pot, and brought a freaking weapon. Oh my goodness. Okay, reading on. Says Karmelo previously got in trouble at school for fighting and having a knife, not a cleat sharpener, on his person. So this isn't the first time that this has happened. This isn't the second time. This guy is known for fighting and bringing weapons. Karmelo also brought a knife to the track meet and was going into other schools' tents looking for trouble. Like, come on, big red flag indicator right there for all these folks who keep trying to say that he was an innocent kid, that feared for his life. I don't see how that's the case at a track meet where no one is armed. No one. Maybe the officer there that's protecting the kids, but no one else is armed. It doesn't make sense to me. Reading on, says according, I hope you guys can read this. I tried to make it a little bigger for you guys to be able to read along with me, but I'm reading out it anyways. It says, according to Texas law, a person may act in self-defense to defend themselves or others if they believe that force is immediately necessary to protect against the threat of lethal force. Using force in self-defense is only considered justified when it is proportional to the perceived threat. And I'm trying to figure out how all these folks that are on the GoFundMe donating over $500,000 to this man are saying that this was justified force, or this guy he felt the threat of lethal force and he had to react. Like, there was no Austin Metcalf he was underneath his track tent. He was with his team. He didn't have any weapons on him. I'm gonna keep reading on though. This means Karmelo does not have a self-defense case, but they can try. You see right there, this is all deep. It debunks it. All the folks who are trying to support him. We also got in Texas, is considered premeditated if the defendant formed the intent to unalive after the process, a reason or deliberation, and the act was committed in cold blood. This will likely be an argument presented in the court. We also got the weather was not terrible on the day of the track meet. According to multiple witnesses that I spoke with, it was barely mist, and not that this has anything to do with why a child would want to another. And I'm blinking because you know what, guys, I want you guys to get the truth, but I also don't want, you guys not to get this. So I'm trying to filter myself for those reasons. And then we have the Anthony family misled their supporters regarding what they were donating to on the Give, Send, Go. After the family received almost $500,000 in donations, they changed the description of the fundraiser to cover basic expenses, including living costs. So they scammed all these folks who initially donated and thinking they were going to their legal fees, defense attorneys. Turns out they're adding their living costs as well, trying to upgrade their lifestyle based off of this terrible situation. It makes no sense to me. Like, how are they allowed to get away with this? There's got to be terms of services, guidelines in place to make sure this does not happen, especially on these donation websites. I know GoFundMe does not allow things like this. So I was very shocked to see that they raised so much money through one of these platforms. I think there's terms of service violations directly against folks who commit these violent crimes. And then we have one last question from our friend Sarah Fields, saying, why aren't any of these teachers or coaches speaking out regarding what they knew about Metcalf and the Anthony family? Is it Memorial High School or Frisco High that is silencing them? I think it's the latter. They will all eventually start talking. Not everyone will sign an NDA. And then she ends it off saying, I think it's time to write a few more open record requests. And I would like to know that as well. We really haven't heard much from the staff, the faculty, or these coaches in the situation. I mean, they are the most close. I feel like they have the most interpersonal relationship with both, or had one with Austin Metcalf and with this, what's Karmelo Anthony. They had the close relationship, so they should be speaking out, letting us know. Okay, guys, and then this is actually a tweet that was reposted from Austin Metcalf of one of his friends. And you guys know I don't like to bring race into it, but we've already brought it. I feel like the supporters, all these folks on the side of Karmelo Anthony, are brought race into it and said that Austin Metcalf was the R word. He was all this, he's prejudiced, and that's why this happened. But this is a retweet from Austin Metcalf's account. This is Jalal Abdullah. I hope I'm saying that right. Basically just saying he had a great time today at Rice. Love the practice atmosphere and the family feel from the whole school. Can't wait to be back. And you can see here his skin tone. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing out here that there was no prejudice on the side of Austin Metcalf. You can see that he was in support of all individuals, no matter their race or walk of life. He did not discriminate, despite what these folks in support of Karmelo Anthony would like to say. And you can see that he's got good friends on both sides. And this was also a retweet of Hunter Metcalf. This is Austin's brother on a college visit. This is the Navy coach he's with. And Jalal reposted this as well. So you can see that they had a good friendship back and forth. This family is not what they're trying to paint them out to be. My thoughts, my prayers goes out to the Metcalf family. Hunter, I'm hoping he has a bright future. I hope he does. He goes above and beyond, does it all for his brother, in support, letting him know, hey, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to carry on the torch, carry on your legacy and make sure your name is forever remembered. But this is just really sad for me, you know, that folks will stoop this low, especially these mainstream media outlets, in order to start this kind of racial divide in between, this racial tension amongst Americans. And these folks that buy it, shame on you for even buying into these phony narratives, these false spins, and those folks who are donating on behalf, supporting of Karmelo Anthony, where you can see that he was all the way in the wrong. I mean, I don't think you get much more wrong in this situation. But guys, definitely hop in the comment section. I had to bring you guys this one. Comments are open, and I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking about this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We got